Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. And the band is back together. We have all 3 of us here today with Michele up top. How are you doing today, Michele? We missed you.
Oh, I'm so great. I'm so happy to be back. And what an episode that I missed. Like, the game completely changed that last week. So that was great to catch up on all of that. And then this week did not disappoint. I really enjoyed the episode from start to finish.
Me too. And how about you, Fanta? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I didn't love this episode. But the elimination was great.
You know what? Yeah. I think that elimination for me like made the episode because I was so on edge and I kept switching back and forth between like, are they making it seem like Kyle's going to win because he's not? Are they making him because he's not? And I was just like, is it going to be a this or a this? And I felt like I was really feeling that elimination. And so, yeah, that part was amazing. Yeah, the rest of it wasn't like top notch, but I enjoyed.
I definitely agree with both of you. Like, I enjoyed the episode in its totality. I wasn't as on the fence, we'll say, with the elimination. I thought that as soon as Ed went down there, and when we look at the episode title being called Mucus Plug, I knew that he was going to be calling down Kyle. And then when I saw that it was pole wrestling and Kyle is like 2 feet taller than Ed and he's never lost a pole wrestle, I was like, yeah, no, Kyle's winning this one.
Well, that's what but then I thought maybe something crazy was going to happen and there was going to be an upset. And I was really scared for that. Like, I was scared for Kyle. I was like, Kyle needs this win. And all signs point to Kyle winning it, which is why I got worried that the opposite was going to happen.
I totally get you.
Yeah.
They try to trick us in the editing, but this time I was like pretty strong and my heels down in there. I'm like, no, Kyle's winning this one because they needed to show how bad a mistake it was for Ed to not put Logan into the lair and take him out. You know, I think they had to double down on that. So we got Sophie here, your fan club here, Fanta. Let's go, Fanta's Team Skull Crushers, even though they just lost one. So Michele has the most members on her.
Wait, what? Do I really?
I think you have the most people right now. Hold on. We might as well just take a little look at
That's hilarious.
I have 5 now.
I have 5. I think you still have 6, Michele.
Yeah, I've got Kaycee, Devin, Amanda, Bettina, and Josh. And Jeremiah. No, Jeremiah's gone. I only have 5.
No, there's one more I think that you have that you're not counting. Hold
on.
Kaycee.
I hate that this episode is called Mucus Plug. I just want to say.
Ew, I didn't even know that.
Why do you hate that? I thought it was really funny when we were there talking about it.
Yeah, no, I only have 5.
Are you sure? Hold on. Let me pull this up.
Kaycee, Devin, Amanda, Bettina, Josh.
There's one more person that I think you're forgetting. Big T.
I don't have Big T.
Are you sure? Because I have her in your pile.
You do.
I do? Why did I take her out?
Have
I not been getting? But then have I been getting points for her?
When would she have received points? She would see the makeup points in the very beginning, and she's never won a daily. She's never gone down to the lair. She's never been in a fight.
Right. But I don't know why I don't have her on my list. Like, I've never changed this list this whole time, so that's very weird.
I mean, like, I don't have her. I could be very wrong, but I'll pull this up. I can look at it right now.
My list says that you have her, Michele.
Yeah.
And that my list says that. Look, I'll show you right here.
Because then because like there's an episode where there's a hookup with Big T, and there's a fight with Josh and Kaycee, which would get me 10 points, and I put my total as 10. But if it's Big T, then my total should have been 15. So then I guess I just haven't been counting this whole time.
What? Wait, what? Sorry, what did you say though about Big T? What do you mean?
On episode 5, Big T and Logan
I might have given her the points though. I'll look at this spreadsheet.
Oh, okay.
After.
But anyways, it doesn't matter. But
I definitely know that I put in
points.
the points for Big T. So
okay,
whether or not you considered Big T to be part of your team, you got the points for her.
Okay,
I'm almost
sick.
100%, but I'll double
Okay,
check,
perfect.
of
No,
course.
you don't have to. No, I believe you. That's great.
What?
Yeah, that's the only thing she's done. So
Oh no, am I gonna like freeze my computer? Okay.
no, just close it. We're good. We're good.
Do you see it though?
No, but I don't need to see it. It's okay.
Oh, it's not coming out. Spinning rainbow of death. Can you see me or am I frozen? Because I'm not on that.
You're
screen right now.
frozen.
Obviously. Fab.
Wow.
Fab.
Wow,
So
great. I have
we'll
the most
just
people.
talk
I
and
had
I'll
no
just
idea
see-
she was on my team.
Like that's I'm sorry. Like, I love Big T, but like that's pretty sad.
She's gained 5 points for my total so far. Like
Not
that's
good.
pretty terrible. 5 points. Like Josh is my all-star at this point.
Yeah,
He's gotten me the most points.
that's not good. I mean, be honest. Do you think you're gonna win?
There's no way. There's no way. I'm a real. I know when something's like drawn in the sand. Like this is not a competition with me. I do not have enough points, and the problem is that I think the only people on my team who could potentially get first place would be Kaycee. I don't think anyone else on my team is good enough to actually get number one. Meaning, I'm not going to get enough points to put myself in the running, in my opinion. But we'll see.
Anything could happen.
Anything can happen.
You definitely there's potential of getting some points in some of those dailies because you do have Kaycee, you do have Josh.
Yeah, like I got a couple this episode.
Exactly. Yeah. So with them winning, and you have 3 people on the most winning team, I would say. I think it's potential that you could get some points, but you're a little bit behind. Though.
I'm pretty behind. It's okay. I've accepted my fate.
So I love seeing CT's mind at the beginning of this episode, working the twist. Like this is what we want to see, right? We want to see people strategizing, and that's what I was saying last week. I think with you guys was that, or with you, Fanta, was that like I love this new twist because it's forcing these groups to work together and like be like, okay, what is our optimum strategy? Like if we go down there, who do we want to take out? Who do we want to put in? And I love seeing them having to do a little bit of work to keep themselves safe instead of it just being a numbers game. So I love seeing CT starting to get his mind in there.
Yeah, I agree. And I really like it's kind of like how Cutthroat had 3 teams, but the thing is that they've already been playing like half the game. So they have all these other thoughts. And then now the fact that you can infiltrate and pick who you go against in an elimination is such a cool twist. I love when the power gets put in the person in that underdog position because it always changes the game in some kind of way. And so it's just way more exciting. And yeah, there's a lot more social strategizing. And I also thought the beginning of the episode showed Nany's social strategy because she's talking to Ashley and she's being like real with her and is saying like, yeah, like I can't fully trust you sometimes still. But she's so real and honest that you can't help but love Nany. I feel like
Ashley's like, oh, yeah, I get it, girl.
Yeah. Like no one's going to vote against Nany because why would you?
Like, what?
It was a good heart to heart. I totally agree. And just seeing like, you know, that Ashley didn't freak out and how Nany delivered it. Like it was true. She's like, you know, I had to say, girl, like, I get worried that I can't trust you or that you're going to come snake me. And like, I like that she handled it well. Ashley handled it well. So I don't know if that means that they trust each other anymore, but I'm happy that Ashley didn't freak out to make Nany not want to trust her. Because I want them to work together. I want Ashley to do a little bit better this season. I do. Mm-hmm. I want it for her. Okay, so go ahead.
The farthest that she's made it in a while.
Yeah, like at least 3 or 4 seasons.
Since War of the Worlds too.
That's far. So I'm happy that she's, you know, having a change of pace, kind of like how we were talking about last season with Nany, kind of making it the furthest that she's made it in quite a few years. So I'm happy that maybe this curse is broken, you know, like we talked about the banana curse being broken after 7 seasons. And so how many seasons has it been now then? Like 4 or 5? So maybe for Ashley, it's like 5 seasons since, you know, she took the money. So my first time that I was starting to get annoyed with Cory this episode was when he's like, yo, Ruby team doesn't believe in themselves, and Kyle, like, he's always joking around, and I'm just like, why do you need to be so serious? Why?
This episode was really like trying to have this whole storyline of Cory like being this coach, being this like Ted Lasso of the team, and just like bringing everyone together and making them work hard and like being this stand-up guy. I don't know. It was bizarre to me.
It was really bizarre, and it was really forced and just so overproduced. To give Cory any kind of narrative, it requires so much production, so much like production coaching, so much editing. It's just like no one cares. Like even with all that editing and everything, it just still doesn't come together. It still doesn't work.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So I was just gonna ask you, Fanta. So what did you think about Cory's boot camp?
I thought it was dumb.
I'm like, yeah, tire everyone out the day before a challenge.
Yeah, that's the only way that he can possibly think of like bonding teams, like bonding with people, like is just like in a physical way. Like he's a physical guy, but it was just dumb. And it was so funny to just see Kyle taking the piss out of like the whole thing, because it's like, no, this isn't going to bond your team.
Yeah, like, I thought Kyle was hilarious.
Like this whole section is so stupid.
It was really stupid. And you know, I had to agree. It was the first confessional of Kaycee's that she's had in a while that was not just like her recapping a challenge, or that I noticed anyways. And she was actually saying something that was decently funny, because she was comparing the Ruby squad to like those misfit teams in the movies where they're like all like have to come together and they have to like, they're the underdogs, and I can totally see them as that team. Like they're just all just like, oh, so tired. Like they're not like cohesive, they're not athletic, and they're all just kind of miserable. So I thought that was a pretty good read that Kaycee had. First one.
Yeah.
Go Kaycee. So poor Logan though. So apparently he hurt his hamstring. So he said he's at about 85%, but he did contribute with a sign, Ruby until death. How did he get the materials for that, do we wonder? But like I actually do wonder.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they provided it. I don't know.
They provided it.
Like production?
They give some form of entertainment to an otherwise lame segment.
Yeah, they're like maybe he was like, I'm here in spirit, and they're like, oh, get him a sign.
Paper? We can give you Sharpie.
Yeah,
please. Like, we need 12 minutes of material.
Ruby until death. Okay, thank you, Logan. I mean, I do like Logan's contributions. He has some really good confessionals, and I think it's probably because he's translating, and like a lot of things are a lot more poetic when we hear them in, you know, his native language. And so he was saying once, it was after the challenge, the daily, but it was like, people are looking at me like they're lions, and I'm like fresh meat and blood, and they're just ready to go attack and eat. And I'm like, I know how it would probably sound in Spanish, and I'd probably been like, oh, that's very, very, very hot.
Yeah, and I hope that he gets better. And I hope this is not just all for nothing of like postponing the inevitable of him not being able to compete or him fucking up really bad or something. So hopefully he's like more healed up, but he performs well in the challenge and everything. So
I like
he's good enough for now. But I think he would flop in a final with this injury.
With the injury, yeah. I mean, he seems to be able to be somebody that can push through, though. So, I mean, I wonder if he's kind of playing a little bit of a game and getting like a little bit of that sympathy card. You know what I mean? Like, he would have to keep it completely quiet until the end of the season, right? Because you wouldn't want to have those sound bites in there, because that would just take your game. I think. But like at the end of the season, for him to be like, I kind of played up on that injury so that people wouldn't. No, but they would want to throw him down. So no, never mind. We'll take that back. only Ed could be fooled by an injury that would allow them not to throw him in there. Mm-hmm. So I started to get worried. I don't know if you guys did as well. When we see Ed gets a Skype call from his mom, we see Big T get a Skype call from her sister, Nelson. We see a little insert about his mom, and I think this is the first time we've seen his mom on the show
that I can remember, at least.
That I can remember. And Kyle gets a Skype call from his pregnant girlfriend. Was there a Skype promo that was happening this episode? Because this happened, all these Skype calls, and then at the Daily, we are sponsoring P3 portable protein snacks. So was it the endorsement episode or what?
Yeah, maybe they're starting to do endorsements, which I'm all for because they used to do that a lot, and it was so funny. Like they'd be like, Burger King, like you get a lifetime supply of Whoppers, or you get like whatever it was, so maybe I thought the Skype calls was
sorry,
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say down for promos. And in terms of like all the calls, I think it was like kind of like because you always do the thing where it's like, okay, well, whoever's getting the calls, they're probably going into elimination. But then with like everything like back to back to back to back, then it was like, oh, it's kind of like a misdirect because you're like, well, who's going down? And then obviously later we see like they're all potential options.
Yeah,
happy for promotions. So we'll actually start playing the dailies.
Exactly.
Please. Yes, I want them to win $3,000 a piece if they win the daily. I want them to get the scooter. I want them to pick the order for shit. Like I want there to be a reason to win these dailies other than just safety. We say it every week, but said it again. So I thought this was a funny segment. So the reason why the title of this episode was Mucus Plug, which Fanta is not a fan of, was because they were talking about pregnancy. Obviously, we know that Kyle's girlfriend is pregnant and very close to giving birth. And Amanda was talking about how her water never broke. She lost her mucus plug in the toilet. And, many men get a little bit squeamish when they're hearing things about the female anatomy that's not in just like a sexual kind of way. And so Amanda's just talking about the position that his girlfriend's going to be in when she pushes his baby out, and is she going to look? I found it really fun, her and Nany laughing with Kyle about his kind of squeamishness. You didn't find anything endearing, Etta?
I mean, it was like a little bit like funny, I guess. And just like classic Kyle.
Classic Kyle. I like the second throw. I guess I'm. Hi, Natalie. Thank you for being here. So Natalie says the Challenge All Stars cast is out, and it looks like Bananas got dropped from the cast.
Wait, All Stars 3? Isn't it All Stars 2?
Oh, 3. The 3's cast is. Didn't I send you guys that too? Yeah, 3's cast is out as well. Wes is on that one, girl. So.
Wait, you never sent me that one?
So maybe I didn't, but I definitely seen the 3 cast. Banana and Wes are on that one. Natalie, can you give me the whole list of who is on that?
It says Banana got dropped.
Yeah, when I saw it before, like a week ago, Bananas was still on it. There's other
Wes? But Wes said he wasn't going on one for a long time.
He's on the rumored cast. They leave. Did they leave already? No, they're leaving November 11th, I think, or 14th. They're leaving soon. Very, very soon.
Well, that would be exciting. I can't believe they're doing a 3rd already, and the second hasn't even come out yet.
I know.
Oh, Jordan's going to be on it.
Who?
Jordan.
Yes, Jordan was the other person. Yes, Jordan's going to be on it as well. Yes. There's somebody else that's a heavy hitter that's exciting.
Jordan?
Yes, Jordan's on that list.
Kayla's going to be on it.
Who?
Kayla.
Yes.
Like Kayla.
How is Kayla an all-star?
And Naya.
That's true. So Naya and
Naya, that makes sense.
I feel like Naya was before
Veronica. Yuck.
Yeah, Veronica's on there. All Stars 3 cast. Let's see if I can find that for you. So hi Dabu, thank you for being here. So I'm getting a Champions edit vibe for Tori. They are really pushing her this season.
Oh,
I
no.
told you guys about the tattoo.
She
right?
already had that tattoo, though.
Oh, what was it, 37?
Yeah, she's had that for a long time.
Oh. Okay. Maybe
from what I know.
Maybe I misunderstood the segment. Fessy and Amanda are not over. I saw a picture of them together at a restaurant on Reddit. Yes, so Fessy, I think, is visiting her in Colorado right now.
Still? Oh my God.
Well, I just saw pictures today. I don't know when the timeline of this, but like Fessy's just kind of like, well, I don't have like this kind of terrain where I live. Like, they're so annoying. Amanda, smarten up. It can't be that good. It can't be that good. Fanta, what do you think? How good do you think that Fessy's loving is?
Apparently, she said that Fessy like almost threw her back out. So,
is that good?
Yeah, like in a good way. So take that how you will.
Okay.
As said.
I don't know if that doesn't sound good to me. Hi, Christina. So Christina says, I feel like the guys missed their chance to take out CT. He wasn't brought up by the Emerald team when Ed was choosing someone. Well, Ed was on that team with CT, so I don't think that was really something that he wanted to do. I don't think he would have wanted to go against CT to remain on that same team. Like, I think he would want to try to come back to be with that team. So I didn't expect him to go for CT there. I didn't at all. All right, so we see, okay, who hates this segment more? I'm not sure if it was Fanta or Michele, but Emerald, Emanuel and Tori flirting and play fighting and pillow fighting, and they're so weird. Who hated it more? Fanta.
I'm so uninterested. Sorry, everyone, I'm in such a bad mood today. I'm just so uninterested in Tori's narrative. Like,
yeah.
I'm not interested in her like getting into like getting romance with somebody. Like, I find it much more interesting for somebody like Big T, because that just like, doesn't typically happen for somebody like Big T. But I'm not really interested in it for like Tori, because it happens like every season, like 2 or 3 times. That I just like, I'm like, I just don't really care.
And it's always the same thing of like, we're silly together. Like, that's how her and Jordan were. Like, we're so fun and we like are just so like free and like, oh my God. Like, it's always that same thing. It doesn't evolve. Like, Nany's romances have taken on so many forms. So I'll always ride for her different stories. Like, it's always different levels and it's always so intense and it's always different. Like, you know, keeps us on our toes.
Yeah. I'm always here for a Nany romance.
Yeah. You know what? I think part of it, I'm just thinking about this right now, is that we've never seen, I don't think, Tori get drunk and get into like a fight or an argument with a significant other that she's like dating. So we never really see anything real. Like, I know, like, you know, when they're drunk and stuff like that, like emotions are a little bit overboard, but we don't ever see the real Tori. And I think that that's what our problem is with her. It's like, okay, we see her having this flirty relationship with somebody, but like, I don't feel their vibe. Like, I don't feel anything about either of them together. That it's just kind of like, okay, can this segment be over? But has Tori ever gotten into any like fights other than with like Amber M about saying that she was potentially weak? Like fights or like get drunken fights or any like?
No, Tori's too controlled. Yeah. Tori's too controlled to do that.
She knows the cameras are there. She
I want her to get wasted and get messy, and then I would like her more. I really would.
She'll never do that. I mean, I agree, but she'll never do that. She's just way too
calculated.
Calculated. What
also, just to ease everyone's fears here, I found a picture of her from Final Reckoning, and she's got the 37 tattoo. I'll screenshot it to you, but you can see it on her arm. That means woo. I mean, she could still win, but she didn't get the tattoo.
Okay, that makes me feel a lot better, because I was worried that she just got it after the season, and I was like, whoa. Thank you, Michele, coming in with all the truth. So we get to the daily challenge, and as I mentioned before, they are going to get these P3 portable protein snacks. Have we heard of whatever this is?
I think they've done it on a previous season. P3's definitely sponsored like 2 seasons ago.
Yeah,
Last
I do
year,
feel it's familiar.
definitely
Have we ever
in
tried it?
the era.
I wonder if they taste good. But I guess we'll never know. So what they're going to be doing is playing satellite sabotage. And they have to deactivate the satellites by jumping from arm to arm and then pulling this plug, mucus plug. And however many plugs each team gets will be the winningest team. Now, I don't know if this was a very compelling daily challenge for me, especially when CT went, and I wasn't sure if he was going to be DQ'd because when he gets to the final, the second to last one, he holds the wire to stabilize himself from falling off, and I wasn't sure that that would have made him DQ, but it seemingly didn't, and he was able to jump and grab a plug, and then everybody just basically DQ'd and just jumped off of the arms. How do you feel about the first team sportsmanship?
He did well, and that's about it. Yeah, they were just terrified, I think. And I would be scared too. It looked horrifying. You don't even have a harness.
You're scared of heights.
You don't have a harness.
Yeah, I know. I would be running. That would be scary for sure. And I also think it's a disadvantage for the women who are a little bit shorter, so they wouldn't be able to necessarily jump that far. And I don't know, jumping and landing on your boobs like that wouldn't be that comfortable. I guess landing on your balls would hurt too, but like I don't know. I feel like they don't have to jump as far and put as much force into it.
Yeah.
So.
I also noticed that like for the first team, like when CT went was when it was the driest.
Yeah.
True.
Like it was like bone dry.
Do you think that they needed to be showering them with the hose? Do you think that was necessary?
I mean, it's fun.
I mean, I would like.
I think if they hadn't done it, more teams would have gotten more people because there were some people who got kind of close and then they just couldn't. I think the water did make a huge difference.
I do like watching the teams that were spraying and how excited they were by spraying these people. They all looked like little kids, especially TJ. TJ very much enjoyed this challenge.
Yeah, I didn't think he would, but TJ was laughing his ass off.
Laughing his ass off. Laughed after Amanda fell, I believe. Bettina was freaking out. Ashley just quit. Amanda takes a bad spill. TJ's laughing. So that first team, are they Emerald or Sapphire? What's CT's team? Is it Emerald?
Sapphire.
Sapphire.
Yeah.
So next up is Ruby team, and Cory wants to be the champion and the team leader, and so he goes first. He does get it. So at least he is able to set the pace, get the first plug, and hope that the rest of his team can do well. And then Kyle goes, and he gets all the way across, and he didn't want to. I forget the phrase that TJ used. Do either of you guys remember?
Leap of faith.
He didn't want to take a leap of faith. He doesn't trust TJ, so he jumps onto the other arm, and then as he lets himself fall off of the arm, he pulls the plug. So it seems as though they have 2 plugs at this point, but everybody was already saying that it was a DQ.
Yeah, I knew immediately. I was like, oh, this is what's happening. They're going to think they win, and they don't win, obviously. Which I didn't hate. I mean, I was very upset because I was like, damn it, that would have been so much more interesting if the Ruby team had won. Just for interest of the game. Like I would have been curious to see who would have gone down and what would have happened and all the drama. So I was kind of disappointed. But it was clear that was what was going to happen. That after he did it that way, I was like, they're not going to give him that point.
Yeah, no, I mean, I didn't think it was going to get that point at all. And I'm just surprised that Kyle should know well enough that he wasn't going to be able to get that point. So the fact that he did that didn't make any sense to me. He's smarter than that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, TJ says it at the end.
Mm-hmm. Emmy's pretty scared, but she kind of gives it a little bit of a go. And I wrote down, oh my God, Big T bails in like capital letters. And at this point, you said this last season, Fanta, that you didn't want to necessarily see Big T come back because you're scared for her. You don't want her to get hurt. This was one of the episodes where I was like kind of scared for her and felt a little bit bad for her because it seems a little bit now that she's being kind of made fun of by production a little bit by not being that physically capable. And it was kind of uncomfortable to watch.
I felt that as well. I was like, I just really feel uncomfortable moving forward with the idea of Big T continuing. It's not a matter of like, oh, she can't do it. It's just that like she's so small. Like she's so tiny. That's kind of the main thing. And it's like watching that today of her just like flipping around like a rag doll. I was like, this makes me feel really uncomfortable. And then like everyone's like laughing and like I was just like, like if it was like, yeah, like whatever, it's one of the girls who's like bigger, or if it's like CT or something that like bailed like that and everyone was laughing, like yeah, whatever. But I was like, she can genuinely get really, really hurt. It's not really about, because I know they were having this edit where she's like FaceTiming with her sister. And she's like, yeah, like my sister believes that I can do this. And again, it's not a matter of like not believing that she can't do things, but it's just her size that she could get very hurt.
Yeah, it's a little bit scary, and like I didn't like seeing her on this, and like people laughing at how badly she fell. And I know that there's probably an era of embarrassment that she's kind of going through, and like she wasn't able to help her team at all. I felt bad for Big T this episode, and I don't want to feel bad for Big T. I wanted her to excel. Like I was feeling good for Big T last season because she was with CT and they were working well together, and he was motivating her in a way that allowed her to do pretty well in a lot of these challenges. I don't really like seeing her on her own, not doing well and not having anybody really there to support her. It makes me feel a little bit icky. Icky. But Logan, even though he has a hamstring, a torn hamstring or hurt hamstring, he does manage to get a plug. So now it looks as though the Ruby team has 3 out of 6 plugs. So they're definitely in the lead over the 1 plug that the Sapphire team has. So next up, like the Emerald team, like the team to beat goes. First, Nany falls, Tori falls, Josh falls. So they start off pretty badly. But then Kaycee, of course, gets a plug. I expected her to get a plug. Devin gets a plug, and he, in some of his confessionals, was saying like, people don't think that I'm not athletic. I'm just the brains. But he's like, I'm still going to go out there and be athletic here, and so he gets the plug. And then Emanuel falls. So they only have 2 here. So with how they were celebrating the Ruby team and how it was edited, you could tell 1,000,000% that it wasn't a real win. Like it wasn't the way that they usually edit things for the winning team. And we get down to the land, and they're announcing, and he's like, you get 3 plugs, and they're like, woo! But Kyle, you didn't actually take a leap of faith, and for that you only have 2. It's going to come down to time. Now, I thought that maybe what they were going to do was say, but you still win, guys. You had the fastest time. I thought that might have been it.
It just was so clear that they took so long to get their second one. Whereas the last team, they put all their people who fell at the beginning, and it was like boom, 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 they all fell. So they didn't waste as much time. So I knew it was a done deal, which made me sad.
Didn't even think about that.
Oh, yeah. I was hoping they could still pull it out.
Me too. I kind of wanted it just because it's like a nice upset, and it would have been nice if like when they thought that they lost and then they still won, especially them being like the down and out team and they're the the underdogs. So I was hoping that they would win, but yeah, you're right, Michelle. They didn't. They definitely took more time than the Emerald team.
Yeah.
So they didn't win. There was a DQ. And Kyle is feeling really bad. TJ says, Kyle, you blew it. Ouch. Like, that would hurt if I was Kyle to hear that from TJ.
Didn't you also say, like, you're smarter than that, or you're better than that, or you know better than that?
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
And he said he was upset too because he was taking money out of the hands of his teammates. And so he knows, like, himself and Cory are both, well, Cory's a father and he's a father to be, and everybody else has their reasons for being there. And so the fact that there was a cash reward on this daily and that all he had to have done was just jump and he would have been able to get that money for himself and his teammates. So,
so sad.
He definitely blew it. Big time, big time. So after the challenge, CT, Nelson, and Ed are chatting in the, I think, kitchen. And so they're talking about what it's possibly going to be, like maybe a Logan versus Ed. Those are the only two rookies that are not on the Emerald team. And so I'm liking that they're starting to strategize, you know, like maybe Nelson will get a little bit of strategy in him with like talking with CT about things that are going on. And this is where Logan says my famous, the line that I like about the lion smelling his blood. I just loved it. And Kyle obviously is feeling bad. So he's in the bed and people are coming to talk to him and he's just feeling kind of bad. So did you guys have any inkling as to what you thought the matchup was going to be at this point?
For me, I was like, okay, it's probably best. They're probably going to throw in Ed. I figured Ed was going to be in the elimination regardless, but I wasn't sure how it was going to shake down. And I kind of thought at first, I was like, maybe it'll be Logan versus Ed or Logan versus like a vet, just so that Logan goes home. But then I was like, I don't know. And once we got into the deliberation, I was like, oh, like Logan's not going to go in. Unless they vote in a vet. A vet will pick Logan. Ed will not pick Logan.
Right? And like a vet would totally pick Logan.
I think there's a lot to be said of the fact that they like Logan because he's proven to be honest to his word and he's never done anything to harm them and the vets. And I feel like for whatever reason, they pushed him aside. Maybe they think he'll continue to be injured. It'll be easier to take out later. Who knows? But
yeah, 100%.
They want to leave him for one of them to pick next week.
Absolutely. It's kind of like, well, you know, if he's hurt, like why let Ed take out the hurt guy? Let's keep him. Maybe he can take out a vet for us. So yeah. There's a lot of pros and cons, but for Ed, I don't think it was the best decision what he ended up going with. So we get to the deliberation with this Emerald cell, and they just kind of talk about how, you know, that they are a really strong team. You hear Josh, oh, we're a really strong team, and like we have to really stay together. I'm like, you fell, like you didn't even contribute to your strong team winning. Did he contribute last week? I can't remember. But like, I'm just like Josh taking credit for his team. Like,
I know we're back full circle to like original Josh bullshit, and I think like it's so funny that you say that because I'm like, who was it that's not on their team that's like, oh, like I hate how they like are all so cocky and everything, because yeah, like they're not all really that great. Like not like Tori hasn't really done anything. Josh hasn't really done anything. Like Nany hasn't really done anything. Like she's done stuff strategically, but other than that, like I don't really think that their team is like
that stacked. They are, but they aren't. They're just kind of well-rounded.
Yeah.
And I think it's that they have Kaycee, because Kaycee I would consider to be the strongest female in the game right now, and so I think that kind of bumps up their like strength, because I feel like Kaycee could take out any of the women on any of the other teams. I think that's what they seem like they're so stacked, is because they have I think they have a powerhouse in the women over the other teams.
I agree because if Kaycee were on any other team, then that team would be just as weak as Ruby team.
Exactly.
100%.
So we're getting into this episode. So it's actually quite short considering it was an hour and a half. But Natalie has a question for us. So Natalie wants to know if we saw the Pauly versus Devin beef. We did talk about it before, but I actually don't remember what happened. So, Michelle, you were nodding first. Can you remind me of this beef, if you remember?
Yeah, it was essentially Paulie was on. I don't know if I guess it was a live or I don't know what it was. All I know is Paulie was heard saying that like the challenge decided like that the people on the challenge got the viewers to
Turn
kick
against
off,
them.
try to turn against the real competitors like Cara and Polly and some of the other people who like D, like people who were kicked off for other reasons, like people like that. He's like naming all these people, and now they're left with these people who are terrible competitors because of this or that. And so then Devin makes a tweet just being like, it's sad how the how ex challengers are like keep grasping for like relevancy kind of vibes.
Mm-hmm.
And then Polly went off on him, I guess, back and forth. I don't really know what else happened, but
like who?
That's
like
what I know.
To me, this is like Paulie screaming for relevancy here.
Yeah.
Like I remember I did see it. I might have sent it to the group or whatever, but it was a little while ago, so I don't remember exactly what happened. But like I just remember him and Cara Maria talking, and he doesn't even let Cara Maria add in her 2 cents. Like he's always just like butting in over her, and it's like it's all about kind of what his position is. And I'm just kind of like, I hope she's happy in this relationship, because from what it seems in that just little dynamic, it seems like he really like takes control of the narrative of like their relationship and their thoughts and their feelings and what's going on, and she kind of seems to just play along with it. So I don't know, he just is making me even more not a fan of him, and I'm just like, can we just not have any more Paulie? I think I could handle Cara Maria coming back without Paulie.
Yeah,
agreed.
I would be fine with that.
I really could. Like, why is she with him? I mean, we know that she has terrible taste in men, but Christina says, okay, Big T said on her Instagram that her coccyx bone hurt like hell after that fall, but she was all good. That fall, that looked bad. That looked bad. Hi, Salad Dodger. Big T is small, but her lower body is thick and strong. She's stronger than Ashley, Amanda, and Nany. I don't know about that. Okay, maybe she could lift something heavier than them, but I think all three of them are more of a fighter than Big T is in, say, like if it was like a one-on-one elimination. Like I could see them never stopping, never backing down, and I could see Big T backing down, if that makes sense.
They also have like more challenges under their belt and more experience of getting over the fear part. I mean, they all still have fears. All of them do in different ways. Like Ashley hates heights, blah, blah, blah. But like they've had to go through them more times. So they're just better at it because they've just done it more times, I think.
Yeah.
And Big T's not a natural athlete. So it's not like a Laurel situation where Laurel came out of the gate, didn't care, and tried anything, because that's not what she's used to. So Big T still has some things to like work through, I think, a little bit.
True. Do you think that BT could beat any of them in a hall brawl or a pole wrestle?
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
And I feel like that would be what lower body strength would be the best for, or like, you know, carrying something heavy.
Honestly, I could see her beating Nany in a puzzle. That's all I'll give her.
Nany's not that bad at puzzles, though.
No, I know, but I think Big T's probably decent at them. So like that's the one thing that I would say. It'd be like, ooh, I don't know who's gonna win, because it could actually go either way. Whereas anything else, I don't think I would think that.
That's true. She's not bad, but she's also not that good at puzzles.
Yeah.
She's better than Kaycee at puzzles. Because we do hear, I don't know.
Yeah, everyone's better at Kaycee than puzzle. Well, actually, no, that's not true either. No, I mean, Cory's worse. Yeah, you know what? So many of them are worse. Tori's worse. What am I talking about?
But what I thought was interesting, I don't know if it came before the deliberation or after, but Nany does say that she thinks that if she keeps the Emerald team together, that she thinks she has a shot at winning the final. So do you think that she really believes that she could beat Kaycee in a final? And do you think it's because there's going to be a math portion that she knows she can overtake Kaycee at?
No, I think she thinks it'll be a team win.
Oh,
I think in her mind, it's like maybe some people will get cut off, but maybe Josh gets cut off, maybe whoever. But she's like, if there's 4 people at the end or whatever, and I still have like Kaycee and this person, whoever, I think she's like, I'm not going to get voted in and I'll get to the final. And if I'm with Kaycee and then 2 other strong guys, like we could definitely win. So I think that's how she's seeing it. I don't think she really knows. None of us know what the final's actually going to be. Are they going to split up again? Are they going to be in the teams? Are they going to be every man for themselves? Like, who knows?
We don't know.
Yeah.
But Dabu wants to know if they are the only one that finds it weird that Tori likes Emanuel, who looks like Jordan. We've been saying this since day one, since she started like having flirty eyes with him when Michelle was still in the house, that he resembles Jordan. So I think she likes men that excel on the challenge, that are willing to indulge her. You know what I mean? Like, that are into her.
Yeah, because she was into Kelz until Kelz left, and then was like, "Okay, gotta choose something else now."
And then she tried with Ed. Ed has a girlfriend. That wasn't going to be a go. And then now it's, Emanuel. Anyone that gives her attention, it seems that she finds a way to connect with them and communicate with them. And just so happens that her type is Jordan. I mean, they're both good looking.
Yeah, I mean, I think that like, because her and Jordan's relationship really started with like a romantic, or not romantic, more of like a playful, funny, cutesy, flirty thing, right? And now it's the same thing with Emanuel, and I feel like she likes the beginning stages of getting to know someone in a relationship. But then she never wants to go too far deep in, because then when she has to go through the other shit, it's just, she doesn't want that, maybe. I
don't know if you can hear me. I know I'm frozen.
I can hear you.
Annoying.
Yeah,
cool.
I can hear you.
Well, back to the deliberation then, since I'm frozen. So Big T is talking, and she's like talking to her group, and she's saying that she's proud to be part of Team Ruby. I think this is the actual deliberation. She said this, and I'm just kind of like, Big T, like, why are you proud to be a Ruby? Like, no, it's not this week. Not this week. How do you feel about how Big T chose to kind of address the group in the deliberation?
I thought, they were trying to create this cute moment, right? This whole like, we did so well, we could have won, like, we're proud. She just wants to feel like she's part of a group that doesn't hate on her. And like, I feel for her, to be honest.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to be in her position.
But like, let's be real, like, she's not going to win the challenge.
No.
She said, I
can't
exercise.
What if she gets onto the Emerald team?
She said she will give up. She will not complete a final. She will not complete a final. She doesn't have the drive like the other people do. Honestly, I don't think she believes she really wants to do it, because even with her being like, I can't like exercise in the midday sun. It's like, you have to do a challenge for 48 hours, queen. What are you going to do? You don't want to because it's too hot out? Try like you're dying and you're eating bull's testicles, and then you're running with hot peppers pouring out of your nose. Like, you're never going to be able to do it if that's your mindset.
It's so true. And then you have the dichotomy of her like doing that, of saying like, I can't do it in the hot sun, and then she's like finishes her like Skype call or whatever with her sister, and she's like, she's a person that really believes in me and like really believes that I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna win. And it's like, well, which one is it? Like,
exactly.
It's just I've said it before,
yeah,
but this is just not the show for her.
Agreed. We still like her, but we don't need her.
Definitely. I don't know if you can hear me or not.
I can hear you, but I can't see you. You're still frozen in that hilarious face. So
yeah. I still love
everything's frozen here. I'm just like, I don't know what's happening today.
I still love Big T, and I would be happy to watch her on a different show.
Yeah.
So we were talking about last week, Fanta. What show would you want to maybe see her on?
I don't know. Anything that just involves her sitting around inside all day. So Big Brother,
Love Island,
something like that.
That's it. Oh
yeah.
Big Brother.
Big T. Yeah, that was the first one. Okay, so Ed wants to spare Logan and kind of falls on his sword for Logan. What did you guys think about this move for Ed, our newcomer this season?
Not smart. Rookie mistake.
Like clearly rookie mistake.
There's nothing noble about that. And I mean, even CT says it in a confessional later, but like rookies play with their emotions and their feelings, and I just don't really understand. Like, again, it's kind of this thing that we talked about with Big T. Like, Ed is like, I want to win this. I want to win this for my family. I want to prove like this, blah, 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 blah. But it's like, why would you sacrifice your game then? Like Ashley said, for a dude that you're probably not even going to be talking to in 3 months.
Yeah, you shouldn't sacrifice your game for someone like that. Like doesn't have to say that. Like, don't make it easy for the people in power again to make a decision.
Yes.
Be like, if what he could say is like, he doesn't even have to admit any of it. What he should have said is like, if you really want to get yourself out of it, it's like, okay, fine. If you get to pick it, just know that like I get to pick who I go against. And if I win, I get to pick which team to infiltrate. So I'm not like, whatever you think I might do, but I'm going to do what's best for me to win. And then get the Emerald scared that he's going to infiltrate. And then they won't put him in. If they if he had done that, they probably would have changed their mind. Maybe they had a backup plan to pick like Nelson or Cory again or whatever,
Exactly. Yeah.
Rookie.
Well, and
rookie mistake and just, really, really bad strategy.
Yeah.
Have we lost
things like that, if you guys can hear me,
Yeah.
is, oh, you can't hear me? Or you can?
Yeah, we can. Now we can't.
Now we can't.
No. She's gone.
Again.
I do. Oh, Ed said on the after show that he knew he was going in and that he just wanted to sound cool. That checks out for me. Yes, 37 is her lucky number. I do remember knowing that for some reason. At some point, she was explaining her tattoos, maybe.
What? Name one thing that you would rather not listen to. Tori explaining her tattoos.
Yeah. The space ones. Like, I wonder why.
Because she's weird.
No. I actually know her reason. Her reason is that it just reminds her that we're just a speck of dust in the universe.
So deep. I've never heard that before. Especially not from my like grade 13 stoner or grade 8 stoner boyfriend.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
Oh, she's gonna be back. She'll be back. Wait, how would you rank the remaining female competitors? I think Kaycee's at the top for sure.
Yeah. Nany hasn't really like done a lot.
She hasn't really done a lot, but she hasn't been bad.
She's kind of middle of the road. So were you gonna say? Oh, okay. Would you put Ashley above Emy?
Yes. I think.
Experience.
Yeah. And like, if I'm thinking about a final, although like Ashley has that thing where she gets stressed and panics, but I think that after that elimination win, I think that hopefully she won't do that anymore. And she'll do like, if she's in the right mindset, Ashley is way stronger. Emy, as we can see in the preview for next week, oh my God, Emmy's like freaking out about CT. Did you see it?
I did see it, yeah.
And she's like yelling.
She's like, your personality changes.
That seemed like a crazy fight. So we'll see what happens with that. If she gets a little too unhinged, it's another female elimination. So maybe they'll throw her in. Maybe his team wins and they throw her in, and that's what prompts her to be angry, or like, who knows what's going to happen. But I would guess like a different team wins, like Sapphire wins. They vote in Emy. He doesn't protect her or something, or he makes some comment or he makes fun of her or something and she gets mad.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, thanks for having me in the movement, in the live in the flesh. Yes, I really am. Well, 2D, 3D, 2D, 3D. I'm back, baby. What did I miss? I was trying to listen to you, and then I was just being annoyed, and I was like typing to you guys, like, the internet gods don't love me. What do you guys say?
We were just talking about it's ranking the remaining female competitors, and we were saying, okay, well, obviously Kaycee's at the top right now, and then I was saying Ashley, and Fanta was saying, do you think Emy is above Ashley? And I said no.
I don't think Emmy's above Ashley, especially from what it seems like happens in the. I don't know if it's next episode or
that's exactly
in
what
the
we got
trailer.
into.
But she seems to be having a freak out on CT. So is she falling in love with CT? Did CT not protect her? Like, what do you think is happening there? It just seems like she's a little bit emotional, and she might pop off, and she doesn't necessarily do great when she's not focused and when she's a little bit unhinged. So
yeah,
I don't
exactly what we said, and we said that our guess is I think my guess is that Sapphire wins the daily, and then they vote Emy in or something, and then she gets pissed, or maybe she gets pissed before, and then it prompts her getting voted in. I don't know.
Or maybe she says like, oh, Uncle CT, you're gonna protect me, right? And he's like gonna be like, does this CT thing, like, I don't know if I can. It's my team, like, you're not on my team. I don't know, and just like her being pissed, being like, you're supposed to protect me, and
exactly
him just being like, you're a rookie girl. I took you as far as I could. Sorry. Brutal. That's definitely happening. Before I got cut off though, could you hear anything that I was saying?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Because like I do feel that I don't necessarily need to see Ed again unless he starts strategizing. Because it's just like it's a waste.
He's fine. Like I like his personality and everything, but on the challenge he's pretty boring and doesn't add anything.
Agreed.
If like he could have done something kind of epic or crazy, or if he's gonna go down and go out, it would have been really fun if he took a big swing and he went for the CT of it all or something like that, and just be like, okay, like I'm down here, like I'm gonna go out swinging, and CT, I'm calling you down, or whatever. Like if he did something pretty epic like that, maybe then I could get behind him coming back. But at this point, he's decently entertaining. He's good spirits and good vibes, but he doesn't really add to the show at all. If he wasn't on it, nothing changes really. Not much.
Yeah, agreed.
Not much. So, no surprise to any of us, Ed is compromised. One thing that Logan said in his confessional, which I was surprised, is said that like he would cry because Ed was completely falling on his sword for Logan, and Ed said he would cry if he knew how. So Logan said he would cry if he knew how. I thought that was interesting, that he's not a crying man. He doesn't cry. I thought he'd be like kind of connected to his emotions a little bit. He seems intelligent in that way.
Yeah, perhaps, but I also think that like he probably doesn't care that much about someone who he just met. Or maybe he does. I don't know.
Or maybe he's closed off emotionally, because as soon as things started to get maybe a little bit emotional with Big T, he cut that off. So maybe he has a little bit of an emotional block with connecting with people past a certain point. We'll put a pin in that and see if that's a pattern that kind of comes up in the future. Okay, I know that you have a couple minutes left in you, Fanta, so we can just like blow through this elimination and then we can put our deuces up. So Logan is going to be, Ed's going to go down into the lair. What I thought was funny, I don't know if you guys noticed this scene too, before the lair, and they're all talking about like what's Ed going to do. Ed and Logan do have an opportunity to have a little bit of a chat, and I thought that Logan offered some decent information and decent like, hey, if it's this kind of challenge, you should take this person, and he did offer some good strategy. You're nodding, Fanta. You agree?
Yeah, I thought that was great. Too bad Ed didn't fucking use it.
Not at all.
I was like, oh, and I like that a lot. I like that moment a lot because I was like, oh, cool. Like Logan is actually like has learned so much, and he's actually paying so much attention. Because at a glance, you would be like, well, I wouldn't want to go against Cory. Like he's jacked. Like, that's just like everyone would be like, oh, well, Kyle, like, easy, like, he's skinnier. But like, Logan gave him a cheat sheet. That was very cool. And that was the one thing where I was like, oh, I wouldn't actually mind seeing Logan again. Because had that conversation,
he's been playing a little bit.
Yeah, had that conversation not happened, I would have been like, eh.
I agree completely, because it was smart, because like Cory might seem stronger, but when it comes to endurance with fighting with a pole wrestle, getting down and dirty, it would be a toss up between the two of them.
Between the two of whom?
Between Logan Ed and Cory.
And Cory.
I still think Cory could have beat him, but it wouldn't have been like with Kyle. He's so much bigger. It's like way more of an obvious difference, and also just knowing your history and knowing what his skills are.
Yeah.
Which is that kind of stuff.
We talked about it when we were watching All Stars last season, that Ace, when he was doing the pole wrestling in the first elimination, he was playing defense and he was holding onto the pole instead of ripping away the pole. And that is exactly what Kyle did. He allowed Ed to get tired out because Ed was just holding on to the pole, and then Kyle will just take away the pole when he saw an opportunity. So Kyle definitely had an upper hand here. But before we got to that elimination, Kyle, when he walked over and tried to make a deal with Ed, I thought it was hilarious, because I was like, Ed's like, oh, I'm not sure, man. Like, and Kyle, just sneaky Kyle, goes in there trying to make a deal. Be like, don't put me in, I won't put you in. You don't put me in. No takers. For the first time this season, we see Cory looking at pictures of his daughter. So I was wondering.
I shouldn't laugh. It's so bad.
Why are you laughing, Fanta?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a shocker that it's taken like this whole season to see them. But like, yeah, I'm a horrible person. When I was watching that, I was just like, oh, here we go.
Yeah. Yes. Family man Cory.
He's the only one with kids. Like, CT has a kid too.
Never seen him on the show.
And you never see him, like, he's talked about him before, but you never see like CT like staring at pictures like,
and you literally had to get pictures printed out nowadays. So like, I think we were joking about, or I was joking about this at least last season, when he was like always had like a stack of pictures that he's like looking through, and it's like nobody does that anymore. Like, it's all about your phone. I know they don't have their phone. I get it. But like the fact that he had to go get them printed, I think is hilarious. Hilarious. So we're down at the lair. We see, with the lair that it was going to be some sort of wrestling thing. Like, he had to have realized when it's just a big open arena, it's going to be some sort of pole wrestle or, ring wrestle, whatever. It's something like that. He's the smallest guy. Why would he go up against the tallest guy? He's short. In those type of things, like, having body length is so much more helpful than just having muscles, as we learn. But because of the title of the episode, as I mentioned at the beginning, and the fact that he didn't shake Kyle's hand, I knew that Kyle was going to go down. And then I wasn't surprised. Of course, Kyle gets called down, and I like Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is a badass. He's hot.
Yeah, Amanda's confessional though was so funny. When she was like, Ed, I thought you were an engineer. Like, why the fuck would you pick Kyle?
It's true, though. But why would you pick Kyle, though?
And that shows me that he has never watched the challenge. That is what that shows me. That he's maybe seen one season, the last season, the most recent season. Like,
but last
you
season,
haven't even watched.
Wasn't that the season with Joseph? Where, like, the first elimination? So, like, if you just watch one episode of last season, he would have seen Kyle picking up Joseph and plowing him to the ground. Yeah. That was last season, right? Or was it the season before? Remember Joseph from America's Got Talent?
Yeah, that was last season, but I don't. Kyle got thrown in first?
Yeah, he was first with him. And, like, he literally was just picking him up and putting him down and picking him up and pulling him down. And he, like, easily won that pole, that ring
But
wrestle.
He more importantly also beat CT at a pole wrestle.
It was the
three-way.
That was a little bit. That guy, what's his name, PJ or JP, was dumb, and like he basically didn't want CT to win, and which made them both lose. So he played that wrong. But CT acknowledges it. He says that Kyle has beaten him. in a pole wrestle. So if he did a little bit of history, like if he just looked at a little bit of stats, he would have known that out of all the people there, he has the best winning record is Kyle for pole wrestling, and he has a foot on you. So probably wouldn't be who I chose. But, you know.
I would have picked Nelson.
Fucking yeah, Nelson, of course.
What are you thinking, dude?
I didn't want to touch his team.
Bizarre.
They just instilled that. Like, I'm sure that's like CT and Nelson were just like, we would never let's not put anybody from Emerald down. Like, they probably just stuck that in him as like team morale, even though knowing that he is going to be thrown down there very soon, and just hope that he will stick by that. I'm sure that they did that. So sure. So 2-1, Kyle wins. So Michele, you were saying that you were really going back and forth and you're on the edge of your seat for this elimination. Were there any highlights or points that you want to?
Well, there was like one point where Kyle was like on his head and there was like sand going in his eyeballs. And I was just like, is it going to be even? And then Kyle wins. Like, and just with the commentary, it was like too obvious that Kyle was going to win that I just was like, maybe he's not. And they were both fighting hard.
That's what I thought too. I was like, oh, it's so like obvious because Devin is literally saying like, oh yeah, he's gonna get one right away. And then he's just gonna win the whole thing. And then I was like, that's a misdirect. But then like that happened and I was like, oh, interesting.
Yeah. Well, I definitely was like, if I'm calling the fact that Kyle is gonna be going down, like, and 100% like he's gonna win. I didn't really think that he was gonna win, but I was like, am I wrong here? Like, really? It's going to be that, like, cut and dry? And yeah, it was that cut and dry. So DJ Curly says that Ed said on the aftermath, that he knew he was going in and that he just wanted to sound cool. So sound cool by going down against Kyle?
That doesn't make a lick of sense at all. That doesn't make sense.
That's sounding cool. I like, can help me understand this, Michele. What?
If you were like,
he wanted to sound cool by throwing himself in and by being like, you look, I know the situation. I want to make it easier. Like, he wanted to seem cool and like he wasn't being voted in. That's what he means.
Oh, that
he was deciding his own fate. That he's like, it's my turn. It's just my chance. But he really just knew he was going to get voted in.
That still doesn't sound cool.
It doesn't sound cool.
Stupid.
Yeah, Bozo, the rookie. Yeah, not cool in my opinion. So Ed should have brought some mustard for the elimination. Don't kill me, Sean. Hilarious. Poor Joseph. Have we ever heard of Joseph since? No. Hi, Andre. So Andre says, lady, this cast is whack. I don't know if the cast is whack. No one is playing smart. Where did they find these rookies? Veterans on autopilot and dumb not putting in CT.
It is dumb. Like, I agree with that. For them, they're in a team. He can't go against one of them for that week. To throw him in, but I think it's also stupid because then he would have just picked Logan and beat him because Logan's injured.
He would have picked Logan, beat him, come back, go take whose position? Take out Josh from Kaycee.
Take Josh's position or take Devin's. Like, take whoever he wants.
I think he would keep Devin there.
Yeah.
He likes Devin more than he likes Josh, I think. And yeah, but he just would take out Josh's spot. Keep Emanuel in there because, like, then if there's somebody, a rookie, keep a rookie on his team so he has a rookie that they can always throw in. Yeah, like, they have to play it so well or CT just gets stronger, right? Like,
exactly.
If they don't take him out at the right time, they should have taken him out like 5 episodes ago. But when they had like 10 rookies, but they didn't. And that's why CT was just so bent on, we have to keep the vets together because he knows that he's safe for longer. And the longer he gets into the game, the harder it is to get him out. And so they're getting fooled by CT. The vets are getting duped here. Mm-hmm. The girl vets, though, at this point, they want CT in the game, right? Like, I don't want to run a final with Josh.
Yeah.
Oh, no. At this point, the women are going to be fighting to keep CT in there, and the men won't be able to get him out.
Exactly.
Oh, Andre says you're looking fabulous today, Fanta.
Thank you.
Are Big T and Kyle the only UK people they are going to bring back? Good question. I think they'll bring back Kelz. I think they'll bring back Priscilla. I mean, I would take Priscilla over Big T at this point. I'm sorry, Big T.
Yeah,
Loved you, but
I
this
agree.
wasn't a good showing, and I don't want to feel worried and uncomfortable watching the show.
Yeah.
Just to finish off the episode, so yes, so Kyle does end up winning, and now they started calling Kyle like typical snake because he decides to infiltrate the Sapphire team and take Nelson's spot, and Nelson goes to the Ruby team. Fanta, do you think that this was such a terribly snaky move? Like, I don't, am I missing something?
No, I thought it was just like, I just didn't understand why Nelson was so pissed because it's like, now you get to compete with your best friend. Like, what is the issue?
Exactly.
Like, the interesting thing, I was like, oh, Nelson, shut up. But I thought the interesting thing was like CT being like, I think Kyle's good, but he's disruptive.
And
he didn't check to see like how we would feel about that, which I thought that was more fair to be like.
That's exactly what yeah,
to be like, he's disruptive, because it is true. Like, Kyle is disruptive and you never know what you're going to get out of him. Yes. And calling him a weasel. And you never know what you're going to get out of him. So I could see like CT being like, oh, okay, that's not good. But for Nelson, it's like, dude, like, that's really kind of like, it's the game.
It's part of the game.
It's the rule.
It's part of the game. So what did you want him to do? You wanted him to go and take somebody on the Emerald team? What I was saying to Michelle in the beginning was like, maybe he made a deal with the Emerald team. It's like, okay, I'm not going to take one of your spots. Let's try to stack the Sapphire team, stack the Emerald team, and we'll just get rid of everybody on the Ruby team. Like, maybe he made that kind of deal and that we didn't see what interweavings that Kyle has been doing when he's been on the Ruby team. And so the fact that like Nelson's so pissed, like, shut up, Nelson. It's not even like you guys are winning. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not on like the best team. I guess I would want to be on the team with CT as well, but whatever, Nelson, win. If you want to have power and want to get mad, like, you got moved to another team with your best friend. Deal.
Yeah.
Deal. I was quite irritated when I saw the preview, and I was just like, I don't know if I care to see that fight. Is Nelson on my team though? I think he's on my team, so I'll take the fight points.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
But yeah, wait, were there any points other than the dailies? The dailies, all those people on that squad.
Mm-hmm. And the elimination.
And the elimination. Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Wowza.
No big fights.
Pretty much it for this episode. There's just a couple more comments here, and then we'll say sayonara. So Andre says that CT just won last season and is in even better shape. If they sent him in when it was partner eliminations, he may have lost. Absolutely.
Exactly. They missed their chance.
Absolutely. Put him up against somebody, like, remember how he's mentioned with Kelz, he was with Tracy, and Tracy lost it for Kelz. And same with Berna. Hughie lost it for Berna. So putting him with somebody that might make him lose might have been the optimum strategy to get CT out. And I don't know if CT's going to bother coming back if he wins again. He'd been winning $1 million in a year. That's a pretty good year. He'd be like, I'll come back for All Stars 5. Like, it's like he doesn't need to do nothing. So yeah, they might have lost the chance. But you know, if he wins the season and he doesn't come back for a few, someone else will have a chance to be a champ.
Yeah.
So Dabu says, Jordan, Wes, Derek, Darrell, yes, Mark, Brad, MJ, Letarian, Cyrus, and Nehemiah. As for All Stars 3. Yes, I did just see this list.
3. That means Derek and Darrell coming back for all 3.
I guess it makes sense to me.
Wow. I mean, I'm into it, obviously, but...
Well, we're not into Derek that much, but it's fine.
Well, yeah.
And for the women, Beth, Tina, Naya, Veronica, Kendall, Kellyanne, Jemmy, Melinda, Jonay, and Kayla. It's fun. That's fun to me.
Veronica and Beth in the same fucking place.
That's messy.
One of them's dropping out. I call it now.
Okay, so how are we going to draft that when we draft it?
We'll see.
Yeah.
Are we going to go for who is going to get the fight points or who's going to quit? I won't be worried. A grenade. So Corey Nelson now have 2 out of 5 votes on their team too. Should they ever win?
Yeah, like when they're voting in the deliberation.
Oh, so yeah, they don't even have like the numbers there. But that's good that they have more sway.
Exactly.
But like the rookies can easily band together and just be like, and TBT and be like, nah, we'll do what we want to do.
True, but they probably won't.
Probably won't. That's true. Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you, Fanta and Michele, for bearing with like my intermittent Wi-Fi. Like, what's happening? I don't know. But you guys are amazing. So thanks for like weathering through the storm, even though there's no storm outside. Do you have any final thoughts on this episode or anything to look forward to or any gossip and tea that we might have missed?
No, I'm excited for the fights next week.
Always.
Me too. We need the fights. Tina will quit, maybe. She won't hit Beth again.
Yeah.
If Tina's coming back, you think that she's going to really, like, not resolve this issue, this 20-year-long issue with Beth? Okay, maybe not 20 years, but close. Like,
she won't.
18?
She's petty. It's Tina. She's even said in recent podcasts that, like, she still fucking hates Beth. Like, it's part of the fun of it.
True. But like Beth is like 50. Can you still yell at a 50-year-old? Like is this the thing?
No.
I don't know.
No,
either.
You can't. But Tina is always inappropriate, so.
Yeah.
Can't wait. So we will be talking about that, I'm sure, coming soon. And that's pretty much all we have for you tonight. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you guys in the chat. You know the drill. Let's subscribe. Oh, and ladies, I don't know if we're going to have a 10,000 subscriber party, but I still want to give you guys a gift for my appreciation. So let me know if you guys want a gift card or a little bit of an email money transfer. Same dealio as before, just to show that I very much appreciate you participating on this journey with me with Reality Realness with 3 S's. So we hit a big milestone, and I want to give you guys a little gift for it. So know that that's coming your way, and let me know what you would like. All right.
Woo!
Love you guys. We'll see you next week. Woo, woo, woo.